Why have I shared this? It's to let you know that life will always come with issues. Sometimes you will fail, sometimes you will lose a loved one, sometimes things won't just work out. And I've come to believe
nonanana sana GP alishirikwa mudala Yesu alimpuso shao kuwekela kunu mawoi ni wala nonanana sana GP alishirikwa mudala.
Yo, what's good? I go by the name Danny Kamchele. Others know me as Danny TSG Humayne, Mr. Don't Tell Him. Mushipe. Don't tell him I told you. So, pretty quick, I just came to let you know that I'm back on this YouTube channel. It's not like I left. I don't know why I'm saying I'm back. Yeah, I came to let you know that I'm starting a new series based on the Life in Words album. And so, we're really just calling it the Life in Words Docu-Series because I'm trying to break down a whole lot of stuff that was addressed on the album, and I hope it blesses your hearts. I hope it speaks to you. I hope it encourages you. And for starters, today I'm talking about something I'm calling life after being excluded from the Copper Belt University. And that's something close to home because, you know, that wasn't easy. You know, for those of you who might not know what that means you're studying at a university and you don't do really good either in your first year or your second year, and you don't make it back. You lose your scholarship and you're like a dropout, a school dropout. And so you have to figure life out. And right now I might sound confident. I hope I do. I might sound confident, but at the time, I was really breaking down. I was in tears. I was getting high every day. Yes, getting high every day for I don't know how many months. So depressed, so not productive. So I left home. At the time, I used to stay with mom. I started staying with a friend, and yeah, life just became so miserable, you know, and it shouldn't have been really. It's that I was responding to that issue in the wrong way, and that put me in a place where I felt like the world owed me success, you know, and so if things don't go the way I'm picturing or visualizing, then life is not worth living. And I'm sharing this because I've heard of people who've ended their lives. Why? Because they didn't make it back, you know? They didn't make it back to school, or they couldn't proceed because they haven't cleared all their courses. And I've come to know that just because you manage to deal with something doesn't mean the next person can, because we have different maturity levels and we get affected by things differently. And so I'm sharing this hoping that it reaches someone who has been through what I've been through and they're having a hard time moving on or accepting. And I just want to let you know that you're not alone. There's people like me who broke down. I was very much a Christian. I was just having a rough time. You know, I didn't know what to tell mom at the time. So even when I opened up to her, she was so crushed. And it crushed me more to see the woman who gave everything in her power to see me get an education. You know, it crushed me more to see that woman heartbroken, low, depressed, and it made me even more depressed. So I left home. I was now staying with a friend of mine, so depressed. I couldn't write any music. As I said, so not productive. Till I started trying to do something about it, you know? And by that, I don't mean I used all the energy from the inside, you know, like I just got up because I'm strong. Nah, not really. I was breaking down. I was in tears. And so God brought the right people at the right time in my life, you know? My wife now, who was just my girlfriend at the time, is one of the people God used. You know, I started talking with her. I remember that day clearly. I came back from school and found out that stuff wasn't going to work out officially, and the lecturers couldn't do anything about it. And that day, dropped off in town. I hadn't seen this particular lady in like 5 years or something, or 3 years maybe. Yeah, 3 years. And dropped her a text. Actually, I didn't have her number. So I called someone who had her line. And I told him, send me Mena's number. At the time I used to call her Ntemena, like her full name. Send me her number. The guy sent it, called her. I was near the place where she was working and stopped by. We started catching up. And on that very day, I actually started talking about my feelings for her. It's like you're having a bad day and you have an opportunity to just open up, and there's all sorts of things coming out, because the conversation actually was based on the university, because she shares a similar story. I'm sure sooner or later you guys will hear her story. We just had like a really good conversation, and I went back home a bit more positive, obviously still depressed. And in the next days that came, God kept bringing the right people. And one of the other people he brought into my life to just help me look at the situation from a better perspective was a man called Sandala Mwanje. I call him Pastor Sandy. He taught me way back, when I was in grade 4, grade 5. And this man called me up, like, come through to Kitwe, come spend the night at my house. And we had good conversation. And he encouraged me to take responsibility and get up and keep fighting through life. He let me know that life never gets easy. At every level or wherever you get, at every point comes a whole lot of responsibility, comes a whole lot of issues. And so he just reminded me of the reality that comes with different situations. And in this case, he told me, you messed up. Maybe your music was taking much of your time. Maybe it's the lecturer. Like, all those maybes are not what are going to help you right now. He told me to pray about it. I know that sounds cliche, but it worked. And he obviously maintained a good friendship, and he kept checking up on me. He kept helping me get better. And in that season, I learned how to work with my hands. Like, I learned how to do stuff, guys. Like, I started doing videography, I started taking photos, I started doing all sorts of things. And by the way, this is the Danny TSG Humayne that people know. That guy is now taking photos. That guy is now trying to do all sorts of things to make money. And by God's grace, I was able to, have people buy into what I was doing and make some money and push my life and do a couple of other things. And why have I shared this? It's to let you know that life will always come with issues. Sometimes you will fail, sometimes you will lose a loved one, sometimes things won't just work out. And I've come to believe that there are times when God doesn't put out the fire. He gives you the strength to walk through the fire, or he gives you the strength to stand strong in the fire. So this is an encouragement to you, and I'm not saying it's easy. Feel free to hit me up if you need someone to talk to. I just came to let you know that I'm not ashamed to share or talk about my scars, because they're proof that Jesus heals. He heals depression, he heals all sorts of things. How does that happen? By exposing yourself to the right things, exposing yourself to God's word, exposing yourself to the right people around you, getting rooted in a healthy local church. And yeah, by God's grace, you'll be able to fight through some of the issues that life brings. All in all, thank you very much for watching. I hope you picked a thing or two. Stay encouraged. There's a whole lot of things I'll be talking about, and go listen to that Life in Words album. It's available on all major digital platforms. It's available. You've got no excuse. And if you want a hard copy, hit me up, 100 kwacha only, and the team will definitely find a way to get the copy to you, even if you're in Lusaka or wherever. Yeah, so subscribe, turn on the notification button, Tell your friend that TSG has started a new docu-series on the Life in Words album. Tell them, I'm out.
TSG Art House.
Been through a lot some time back. Nearly depressed to table fee. Face down, so ashamed I got excluded from uni. Life ukunchita hambo kata kwali no kuba bougie. Ne wa lame monata, I got it figured out. Kuima na rookie. I was so heartbroken, almost lost my hope. Yeah. Faith got so shaken, felt better when I took that dope. Yeah. Every time I sobered up, the pain came back. I felt bad. Everything I'm telling you is straight facts. I've been down, I've been bad, but you still picked me up and showed me love. I've been down, I've been bad, but the way you